Welcome back to Wellness Wave Radio. Thanks for tuning in this morning to ride the wave with us. Each week our goal is to give you at least one suggestion that will make your life a little better. My name is Phil George. I'm a clinical biochemist, certified personal trainer, and health coach. Please remember, everything we discuss on the show is for informational purposes only and should not be taken as medical advice. Always seek the guidance of your medical professional. So we have a really interesting show for you today. We have Becky, right?
Yes.
Like Becky better. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
We have Becky from WISE at Assumption College. So Becky, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the program.
Okay. As Phil said, I'm Becky Perry. I'm the director of the WISE program, which is out of Assumption University in Worcester. And I'll tell you a little bit about WISE, what WISE is. WISE stands for the Worcester Institute for Senior Education. Seniors being anyone who considers themselves a lifelong learner. So it's a lifelong learning program. We offer courses of an academic nature for older learners, people who are intellectually curious and who want to continue their learning throughout their lives.
And we talked, there's a lot more involved in it than just the actual courses. And one of the things we talked about before the show, it's funny, I mentioned a lot of times with guests, we really should record the conversation before the show because a lot of times that's a lot. I may do that at some point, actually, kind of a behind the scenes thing, what's going on behind the scenes. So we were talking about doing that, and that would probably be a good idea. But one of the things we talked about, and one of the big things now is, and we have, they call it the graying generation, where people are, more and more people are going to be, are going to be retiring and stuff and going in there and looking for something to do. In fact, we were in the back room with Art and Lucky, and they were saying you never want to retire because that's kind of a death sentence.
Yes.
Because first of all, the brain is kind of like a muscle. You want to keep challenging it over and over again, and plus you don't want to get bored. The other big thing, they say basically isolation and not socializing is equivalent to smoking like a pack of cigarettes a day. So but a lot of times people don't know what to do or they don't know where to go. So I think with the WISE program, and we talked before, there's a lot more to it than just the courses. Why don't you talk a little bit about more of the ancillary programs?
Yeah, absolutely. So WISE offers, our core offerings are the courses that we offer. And the courses that we offer are both on campus at Assumption University as well as online. And it offers an opportunity for folks to stay intellectually stimulated. But per your note here, we also offer a lot of social interaction and engagement. It's very much a community. And for folks who like to get out of the house, we have things that happen on campus. We have book clubs, for example. We have a movie club that's free to all of the folks who join WISE. Folks who join are able to take advantage of all the things that campus has to offer, which is everything from using the recreational facilities at a discount to the concerts and free lectures that Assumption University offers. And then for our online folks who perhaps are not able to get out of the house or are otherwise restricted at traveling, our online courses offer another opportunity to engage with fellow students, because it's not just sitting there listening to a lecturer, it's engaging with the content and participating.
I think the other thing we talked about too is forming that community. So once you get out there, because what happens as you get older, your friends are dying off. You're not at work anymore. You're not at school anymore. So you don't have that much a chance to interact with people. And we found basically if you go into a group like this, you're going to be with a little community.
Absolutely.
And I think you were talking about there's very special things, like they may be something to do with artificial intelligence. That's something else you're coming up with.
Yes, so we have, in addition to some of the clubs, we have special interest groups. We have one that meets on a regular basis, and again, this is all free to the folks who join WISE, that meets and talks about the Supreme Court. Very, very popular topic. We have another one that meets and talks about artificial intelligence. We also have courses in those areas. So one of our instructors has a very strong technology background, and he regularly talks about things like artificial intelligence. This coming spring, he's offering a course on the changing world of work from a technology perspective. And I think technology is very interesting, especially for this audience, because some folks have kept up with technology and take to it, while others are intimidated by it. And I always tell folks, if you're hesitant about, for example, taking an online class, my office, myself and my assistant are there to help you, and we make it very easy and very accessible to everyone, regardless of how you feel about technology.
So in other words, somebody that's brand new to this, they could call you up and
Yes.
say, this is my situation.
Yes.
And then you'd be able to direct them maybe very specific courses or groups that would be helpful for them.
100%. We can walk them through whether they want to sign up for an online class or a class on campus. We can help them every step of the way, one-on-one.
Right. The other thing I really, again, what happens is the whole thing with the lifelong learning a theme on this, I think that's really, really important. And again, one of the things a lot of people are afraid of as they get older is the dementia and the Alzheimer's. And we talked again before the show about your brain being a muscle. Either you use it or you lose it.
Right.
And by constantly challenging you to new things, even though it can be a little bit intimidating or kind of scary in the beginning, but there's another interesting thing. What's happened is a thing in neuroscience. It's called neuroplasticity, and that just means the brain will basically rewire itself to adjust to whatever you feed it. Just like if you're going to go into the gym for the first time, you start doing bicep curls. In the beginning, it's going to be hard, but eventually your muscle will adapt to it. It's a condition, actually, it's called hormesis. Hormesis just means what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So by you challenging it, what happens is your brains, the neurons are going to go back and get stronger and stronger, and it'll translate to other things too. So by taking the leap and going into WISE, what you're doing is you're taking the first leap of preventing the dementia and the Alzheimer's.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I'm a huge advocate of this program, as I'm sure you can imagine. I joined WISE as the director a little over a year ago, and I've been continually impressed with what it offers. And the folks that are part of WISE are incredible individuals. And for those, again, who might be a little intimidated, it's like, oh, I'm taking classes, because these classes are very academic in nature, and they are at kind of a almost a college level, but they're very accessible. We have folks who teach classes in literature, art history, science. I mentioned technology, current events, is all kinds of things. But the great part about it is there's no class, there's no quizzes, there's no grades. It's all just for the fun of learning. And some of our members like to take classes in areas they're already passionate about, whether it's music or literature. Or they might expand their horizons, say, I'm not really much of a science person, but this biology class sounds kind of interesting, the biology of aging, for example. And they'll take something new. And it's all about, as you said, expanding your horizons, stretching your mind, and it's just for the fun of learning.
Right, and the other thing, again, with it, and talking about, when we're born, we're not born with a how-to manual for our bodies. So one of the things is it's important to understand, again, basically, that's one of the things I do, when we do the seminars and we also do the radio show, is giving people, understandable concepts about the body, how the body works. So, the other thing, interesting, again, going with the teaching part of it, is a lot of times if you see a doctor, it's going to be, here's a pill, here's this or that. But, as a biochemist, I want to know what's called the root cause, what's causing the problem, as opposed to just take a pill for this or that other thing. So understanding these things, or even understanding, how we got into the position we're in terms of our healthcare system, you're going back. So there's all kinds of different things you can learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I know I mentioned our members, right? And so just to clarify for folks who may be confused by that, WISE membership is you pay for a fee, one fee to take all the classes that we offer a given semester. So as an example, we have our spring semester will be starting in early February, and we're going to be offering a total of 24 classes this spring between, we have 2 concurrent sessions. One 5-week session starts in February, and the second 5-week session starts at the end of March. And we offer a mix of, as I mentioned, online and in-person classes. And so if you join WISE, you can take one class or you could take all 24. I've yet to meet anybody who's able to take all 24. But along with that membership, of course, you get all the other things I've already mentioned, such as the social clubs and access to the university resources, et cetera.
Right, and I think again, if you have a very special interest in something, again, you can go into one of these courses that or groups that you're interested in, and learn about that. But again, I think I want to emphasize you have a chance to basically make friends there. 100%,
and honestly, Phil, I think that's the best part about the program, and it's I definitely need to mention that I'm the director and I have an assistant, but we're the only 2 paid staff of WISE. The entire rest of the program, which we could not do it without them, is run by volunteers who are members of WISE themselves. So the entire community decides what they want WISE to be. So for example, we have a group of folks who are the curriculum committee. They decide what classes are going to happen each session. They reach out to instructors, they recruit them, they decide what proposals for courses are going to happen that they believe the members of WISE would like to see on the schedule. We have a committee of volunteers who does events, special events. We have a holiday luncheon. We do a spring evening out. So all kinds of things. And they're incredible. And it really is very much a community that is dedicated to this program and making sure that it meets the needs of the members. And we listen to the members. We reach out to them regularly and say, well, what did you think of this class? What did you think of this event? What would you like to see WISE to be? And it's evolved over the years, over 30 years to be exact. So it's really amazing. And it's amazing because of those individuals who help to run WISE.
Right, and I think the whole point is you're really tapping into a very large organization that's going to be able to do a lot of different things for you.
Yes.
And actually, it's interesting. My sister is she's going to be in her 80s now. She's actually a psychiatric nurse. She was a psychiatric. She taught nursing, and she really hammers this home in terms all the time. She's hammering it's the socialization, getting out and doing it. And you're going to have access because you have a gym there, you have a facility there. So it's kind of, instead of joining us, Planet Fitness and joining this and going here and going there and going all over the place, you're tied. Like you say, it's a community.
Yes.
You're tied into a community, and once you're into there, then you're going to have access to a lot of different programs, and you're not just you're just isolated into one thing.
Absolutely, and come March, once we start having our classes on campus again with the nicer weather, we also have folks will just gather together, for example, at the Taylor Dining Hall on campus in between class times, and for another opportunity to just casually meet. We've also established what we call the WISE Forum, which is a discussion group that meets on a weekly basis and just talks about random topics that are of interest. And they meet over lunch and they kind of chat. So the other thing is, we have plenty of opportunity for our members to gather, to meet as a community, to share what they've learned in classes, perhaps, and beyond.
And the other thing that you had spoken about earlier is also discounts on like on the cafeteria type of place. Yes. And things like that. So there's also discounts on a lot of things. So again, we're tapping into a larger network.
Yes, so with the WISE membership, not only do you get access to things on campus, which include things like discounts to the rec center on campus, discounts at the dining hall. I mentioned all the free concerts and lectures and things that just come along with being essentially an Assumption student. WISE students get an Assumption ID, which they can also use for discounts at local things in the Worcester community, such as the Worcester Art Museum. You get in free with your Assumption ID. Yeah.
Yeah, getting into college, there's a lot of programs that they'll give a discount for it.
Yes.
So again, you're tapping into a lot of different programs, and you could really you obviously use that ID for a lot of different things.
Yes, I'm told that it's better than the senior discount in many cases at some of these museums and places around Worcester.
And can you tell us how about a couple of courses that are coming up in February?
Sure. Oh, absolutely. Yes, I mentioned that we have 24 classes. So the first session, which starts in February, actually February 9th, our classes run for 5-week sessions. So it meets once a week for 90 minutes, again, either online or in person. In February, all of our classes are online. We do that because of the weather implications. It's difficult to travel. Sometimes there's a lot of cancellations, snow days, that sort of thing. So those first 5 weeks, the 9 classes that we're offering are all online over Zoom. Again, don't be intimidated by that. We can show you how to use Zoom very easily. But some of the classes that we're offering include the lives and times of great musicians. This is taught by the director of our jazz band at Assumption University, and he's a great instructor. He teaches over Zoom, but he actually has a keyboard that he has his camera on, and he will play different pieces as he lectures about the musicians and tells the students about them. We also have a new professor who's going to teach about the ocean and kind of the science around that. We have some art history, women painters over 5 centuries. We have Josephine Baker and jazz in Paris. We have another popular instructor who's teaching a course on the greatest protest songs of the past 60 years. That I'm sure will be very popular. We also have some religion and history, the Book of Kells, the theology of Oscar Kuhlman, who I admittedly do not know, but apparently there's a lot of interest around that. Flawed democracies in the world. So these are just a handful of what we have to offer, and that's just the first session. The second session will have 10 classes on campus and 4 on Zoom. Similar type topics. We offer more art history. We have a course on Michelangelo. We have a course on biology, a couple of literature courses. So when we say there's something for everyone, we really do believe that's true. And like I said, our curriculum committee takes a lot into consideration to have a wide variety of offerings when we put together the schedule.
And so basically, again, if I understand you correctly, so the first course in the beginning are all going to be all on
The
Zoom.
first 5 weeks, starting in February, will be all on Zoom. And then we have about a week off, and the second session starts the last week in March for another 5 weeks, all brand new classes.
But again, if they sign up for this, but once they get into the program, they're able to go on campus and do some of those.
Yes, absolutely. Once you're a member of WISE, you can do everything like I mentioned. We have a nonfiction book club. We have a fiction book club. I don't know if I mentioned the movie club, but this is great. Our movie club meets once a month. And to call it a club is a bit of a misnomer because really it's open to the public. Anybody watching this is free to join us. Our January movie is Wait Until Dark. It's from 1967 with Audrey Hepburn. I don't know if you're familiar with this movie. It's a great movie. Really, it's a great thriller.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, oh, it's great. That's on, I want to say the 21st, if I have my Saturdays correct. It's a Saturday at 1 p.m. And I know this is a lot of information, so you could always check out our website, which we have all this information on as well.
I think it was on the bottom, not on the bottom of the screen anymore.
Okay.
So, yeah, and we can, what I say all the time is a lot of times, people are familiar because I have an email. It's really easy. It's philgeorge@charter. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great.
Yes, that's our website, assumptionwise.org. So all the information that I'm giving you, including things like, the movie club schedule, the book club schedule, and all the benefits that come along with the WISE membership, and our course catalog, which will give you all the descriptions of all the classes that have coming up. That's the best place to start. Check out the website, and all this information is there, or give us a call and we can share that information with you as well.
Right, and again, what Becky can do, Becky can walk you through it. So if you call up, or your assistant,
yes,
they're going to be able to give them, this is what I am. I'm not good with. You can't believe the amount of people I know that are older that they don't do websites. They don't even.
Oh no, I believe it, Phil, because I'm in the industry, and honestly. That's fine. We accommodate everyone. Even if you're not an online person, just give us a call. We can even send you out a copy of our catalog, and we can do everything offline, if you will. So that's what we're here for. We're here to help because WISE should be accessible to everyone. That is our goal, and we want everybody to be able to take advantage regardless of what their circumstances are.
It's funny. It's interesting because I've had a lot of medical professionals on the show. There's something called a direct primary care doctor. So this is a doctor that you give a monthly fee to, and they only accept so many patients. And basically, so I had a friend, an older gentleman, and he was looking for a primary care doctor. So I said, I gave him the name and everything else. So what she does to save time, she does the Zoom meeting.
Yes.
Didn't like that. He canceled the appointment.
Oh,
he says,
really?
to me, I want to meet in person.
Yeah.
I can kind of see that because there's the body language and everything else. I don't cut the numbers, but so much is communicated with body language as opposed to verbally.
Yeah.
And actually, you can pick it up. So he says, if you're going to have a physician that you can have for a long period, you want to know if you have the connection.
Right.
So I think that's the other thing. That's why, and it's nothing wrong with that. And some people, they actually buy what they call the dumb phones.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want the smartphones.
I know.
I want the dumb phone.
Oh, no, I completely understand that. And we honestly have folks that are at both ends of the spectrum. It's funny because, we talked a lot about the socialization, and I have so many folks who come to me and say, I don't want to do any of the online classes. I just want to be on campus and be with my peers and the socialization, and that's great. But believe it or not, we also have a number of folks who say, I just love the online classes. And I get it, because there are, a number of folks who like to just learn from the comfort of their home, or they're from a distance. And that's probably something important to mention as well, right? Yes, we're based in Worcester, but because we do offer a number of courses online, you can take them from anywhere. We actually have a couple of instructors, one who are far away. One's in North Carolina, one's in Canada. But because we offer classes over Zoom, they can teach that way, and they're phenomenal. But students can do the same. Last year, as a matter of fact, my mom summers down in Fort Myers, as many folks do who come from here. I got her a spring membership as a gift for Christmas, and she took a ton of online classes, and she loved it. So that's another thing that's an option to folks. Buy WISE as a gift for someone.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great gift. That's right.
Very much.
The other thing I found, like with my wife, my wife hates to exercise. So what I did is we had this gym close. That was a woman's only gym. So again, I bought her that, as a present, because I think she'll use it. So a lot of times, they may not, if they bought it themselves, they may not use it. But if you get it as a gift,
yes,
they're going to feel, kind of like obligated to use it because you gave me the gift, I want to use it. So I think that's, and again, that's something you don't know what to get them for a gift.
Right.
The person has everything.
Absolutely. I mean, especially, again, for someone like myself who's looking for that gift for their older relative or friend that, like you said, has everything, right? But they love learning, and it's a wonderful thing to give someone the gift of learning.
I don't know if you do this, but when I belonged to the Chamber of Commerce, what they used to do, they had live. We met live, but they also had a Zoom thing, so people could actually tune in. Have you thought about doing that in the live courses, and also they could Zoom into it?
I know that WISE has done that in the past. Have been some challenges from a technical perspective getting that to work, not just for WISE, but actually on the Assumption University campus. They haven't figured it out perfectly, so we don't do that right now. But one thing I should mention is all of our online courses are recorded.
Oh, wow.
So much like this show, which you can watch later.
Yeah.
Anybody can watch it later.
Oh, it's great.
So even if, let's say you're taking a class on campus, but there's an online class that meets a little later and you're not going to make it home in time to watch it, you can watch it whenever you want because they're available on our website for 30 to 60 days after it runs. So that's another great thing because, I know everybody's schedules are different. Like you said, you have a doctor's appointment, you're going to miss one of the weeks. We record the online classes and you can watch it at your leisure.
So when you're doing the Zoom, I'm zooming in and I'm watching the professor. Are you able to ask questions?
Absolutely, it's interactive. So it depends on the professor's style. Everybody is different. Some of them like to have very conversational, casual during the session. Others will wait till the end of the session and allow time for questions. Most of the classes that I've been able to kind of audit and sit in on, they're very interactive. Folks are encouraged to share their opinions and to offer insight. And frankly, this is, again, a very experienced and intelligent group of folks who have a lot to share, a lot of experience, and that comes into the classroom.
Yeah, and I think that's a really big part of it too, being able to ask the questions while they're there, and the interaction. So even though you're not physically, socializing with people, what's happened is in a way you are virtually, because again, you're interacting with other people. Granted virtually, but you're still able to ask questions and get feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, if you're not familiar with Zoom and it's something new, it takes a little time to get used to. But I would say the majority of folks who are part of WISE are comfortable with it. After a class or two, you get the hang of it. And the majority of folks take the kind of a combination, some online and some in person. It really depends on the topics that are being offered and what's of interest to you.
Again, I think the big thing is I've been starting really getting into AI a lot more, and it's a game changer.
It is.
It's going to get more and more sophisticated. I had a board certified gerontologist on the show, in fact on this show, and she has a thing now with people with dementia and stuff where it basically what it does, it's a computer program that actually talks to the person, keeps track of all their meds, keeps track of everything going on, and just basically be able to talk back and forth. The other big thing now with AI is artificial girlfriends and artificial boyfriends. So you're able to to talk back and forth. In AI, some people find it really scary, but I mean, again, it's coming, and there's good and bad to everything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it depends on what you want to use it for.
Well, that's exactly how the special interest group developed around AI that we have currently. And the group gets together and they talk about a different aspect of AI each month. One month they talked about healthcare and AI. Another month it was about education and AI. And it's very interesting, and it is a topic that our members are very keen on understanding and learning about, and the gentleman who facilitates that makes it very accessible.
Okay, so we're coming up towards the end again. So if they want more information, we had it on the screen.
Absolutely.
Why don't you just say it again?
Yep, website assumptionwise.org for any information, or call the number there, 508-767-7513. Myself or my assistant, her name is Jill, she's very friendly, can help you with any aspect, any information you need. If you're interested in joining WISE, or if you are interested in getting a catalog about our upcoming courses, please reach out. We're here to help you.
And Rebecca, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me. This was very wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week. One of the most common questions I'm asked as a biochemist and health coach is what are the best supplements to take? Choosing supplements is a tricky business. Many companies have poor quality control and questionable ingredients. In the past, I had to send clients to several different websites. I am now able to offer one-stop shopping for all the quality brands I recommend with no shipping cost and a lower price in most cases. Just email me, philgeorge@charter.net for a free consult.